More now on the presidential visit. President Bush is right now in Central Florida, speaking in Orlando. He arrived here this afternoon after first stopping at Tampa, where he gave a speech on the war on terror. The president is now at a fundraiser dinner. He is expected to help bring about $3 million for the Florida Republican Party. It's been a pretty rough week for the president and the White House after news of the vice president accidentally shooting his hunting buddy, and that news wasn't disclosed for about 18 hours. I'm joined now by WESH 2 political analyst Democrat Carol Cox and Republican Tico Perez. We're going to talk about that hunting accident in just a moment, but first we'll start with you, Carol, because you're the new one here. Despite some lagging poll numbers for President Bush, it seems like he still has a lot of clout. He's expected to pull in a lot of money for the GOP tonight, so it looks like he's still a strong asset to the party.
Well, of course, a Republican Party activist he will be. I'm not surprised he's coming here. Florida's a big political state, and obviously the Republican Party of Florida feels they need some help in their fundraising efforts. It's going to be a tough year for them this year. The Democrats are going to put up quite a fight.
Let's talk about that hunting accident because, of course, it's been the news all week since this came out on Sunday. Tika, we'll start with you. Since everyone is talking about this, it's really the only thing that the White House has been able to talk about this week. How much is it hurting the Bush administration right now?
You know, Sally, I don't think it's hurting the Bush administration. Look, this is a fight between the press corps and the vice president's office because they weren't properly respected. The only thing I wish is that the vice president had been hunting with Al Gore and taken him out with that quail shot instead of his buddy, the attorney.
Oh, you're starting to sound like Ann Coulter now, who wishes she got a shot at Bill Clinton back when.
But seriously, you know, this is a media issue. The media is now saying because you didn't tell us quickly enough, because you didn't report to us, now it's a cover-up and a conspiracy. It's much ado about nothing.
But Tico, you have to admit that it's got to be a problem, at least in some regard, because it's going to a wider audience, because like late-night talk show hosts, everyone's talking about it, so everybody knows about it.
There's a real simple rule. Don't get the media angry with you. Don't disrespect the press corps because they'll start talking conspiracy. Then you're going to start having folks out there saying, well, was he drinking? Was he not drinking? All sorts of new things will come into play. It was 18 hours. Local police were called. Local media was called. The mighty press corps from Washington wasn't called.
So, Carol, any chance that the Democrats are making too big of a deal out of this?
Well, I think accidents happen. We all know this. This is clearly an accident, but it shows this pattern of secrecy and deception on the part of Vice President Cheney and President Bush. Where's the transparency? Where's the accountability? I think that's what the American public wants to know.
But even now, the man that was shot, Harry Whittington, came out of the hospital today saying much ado about nothing.
Well, of course, he's the vice president's friend, so, and it was clearly an accident, but we need that accountability.
This isn't secrecy and deception. This is the press corps wasn't called, their nose is out of joint. The local press was called, the local police were called, the reports were out there. They just didn't pay homage to the press corps.
How hard is it going to be for the White House, though, to get back on message?
You know, the White House has been on message. The White House continues its message. And yeah, the press corps is hostile right now. They've been hostile for a while. The White House is going to continue to do what it's doing, is blocking and tackling and doing its job. And if the news gets out there,
well, I would like to see actually the media cover some of the other issues regarding the NSA wiretapping, you know, eavesdropping on American citizens without the proper warrants, the Valerie Plame CIA affair, the vice president apparently authorizing his staff to release classified information. I would love to have the media talk about some of those issues.
Let's talk about one of those other issues. The president, of course, was in Tampa today talking about the war on terror, telling Americans not to be discouraged by setbacks in Iraq. Is this a hard sell right now, Carol?
Well, the Bush administration has never had a plan for Iraq. Before we went in 2003, they didn't have a plan and strategy. They didn't have one after the invasion. They still don't have one now. We cannot be successful in Iraq without a plan. They still have not delivered one to the American people.
And see, that's a perfect party line response. They don't have a plan. The president has laid out his plan before the war. Since the war, we're going to go in, we're going to overthrow Saddam, we're going to have fair and easy elections.
The CIA has
even have to wrap you up there. I think you got your good party line in there. You did as well. Carol Cox, Tico Perez, thanks for joining us tonight.